begin.
Good evening to you all. As one of the organizers, I am not the only one, and as a fellow citizen of this beautiful community of Calice, I have the pleasure of introducing this evening. Well done. Thank all of you for being here to listen to our lyrics, our compositions, our verses. Yes. Thank you. I would like to thank the musician Ago, who, with his instruments and his voice, will be able to lull our thoughts. I would like to thank the writers and poets present, who will give life and vivacity to the event by reading and reciting their compositions with different sensitivity, emotion, and delicacy, always with the desire to bring to you their feelings and the vision of their being, which is born not always and only from the intimate interiority, but also from a careful observation of the world, from what is happening. A world in which we all live, where there is a lot of bitterness, but tonight we make an exception and feed on sweet honey. I would like to warmly thank Maurizio and Monica for their hospitality and the opportunity they gave us to make all this possible. I would like to add a small note. With this event in Santa Maria nel Calice, we brought people who had never been there before, which can certainly only do good to our beloved territory. Thank you for being there, and I hope you'll be left, poetically speaking, enchanted by so much beauty. Here is just a taste of our territory. Now there will be the presentation of the book Chronopathie by Gianluigi Ago, presented by the writer and journalist Rosaia Panico, with readings by the poet Giulia Olga Bilanche, after which we will be alternated by the poetesses of poets with the reading of their poems that will be introduced each time by our friend, the poet Minestrello Enzo Gaia. Enjoy, and thank you to Natalino. So, let's start the reading. Start. I will call Paolo Luporini. A round of applause.
I call you to order.
Thank you for the applause on trust.
Wait first. First I have to read what I have written. And since we're talking about poetry, even though I'm someone who only writes little thoughts, I've titled this poem or this little thought. Poetry is a hobby. A poet rejects this definition because each of his verses defines reality. Language and imagination. Poetry is a job. It's the little poem of the regime that gives bread, very expensive bread, that is bought by power, that despises its servants. It would be better if those poets who cause that kind of scandal tied a millstone around their necks. They send legions of young people to die to the sound of their verses and military marches. Poetry is flattery. In that case, it is always a servile instrument of power that is bought with favors in exchange for insincere honors. Poetry is necessity, first of all. What does it talk about, after all? Of the necessary that travels a narrow track, and it is a duty to write when the other dictates. You have to do it quickly, because the words and often the rhymes come hot. Just like the sun returns to its punctual ephemerides. If you miss the train, the dawn is not the same. It is necessary to talk to oneself about life, about thinking about when it will end, about the real, imaginary, desired, or only hoped for, about feelings, emotions, the unconscious to bring out, about dancing stars inside, about chaos to sort, about Amazon packages to collect, with more poetry to devour. Because you, who know about liquor, what better thing can you buy for yourself? Definitely Gianluigi Ago and Giulio Orgaciante. Thank you. And now Natalino.
Microphone. This one.
Here is breaking, and you've gone too far. You need to go back a little further. I was waiting. Bring it back like this. Other way.
Yeah. Wait, what? What did I say? Hello? It's always difficult to choose something to read because there's a contrast. You think of one thing for another, but I chose hello. I've chosen to dedicate this to a total stranger. The premise. I wrote this one day while at a shopping mall, and sitting next to me was a girl, a very young girl, in a wheelchair who was unable to even move her arms, and beside her, I believe her sister, another older one, and a friend were there, and I spent some time observing them, right? And what they did, how they spoke, how they smiled, and so on, so on. And this thing came to me. I know. I'm exaggerating, unknown friend. What do I know about your sleepless nights? Your clenched fists intensely cursing the moment? What do I know about your well-known impatience? Your sleepless sunsets without the dawn chasing away? What do I know about your dreamed-of trips but which took flight? For me, because of my imprisoned body. What do I know about the slightly salty drops like a torrent and flood that furrow your face? I know. I'm exaggerating, unknown friend. Today I haven't collected anguish in your smiles. Your smile was as open as the sky. It illuminated the space of those next to you. Your sister's hand touched your face. You looked to see if that red of your fine lips gave every glance the beauty that is in you. I must thank you for those moments when you let my soul fly with you far beyond the chair that keeps only my physical form bound to itself. I know that perhaps I'm exaggerating, unknown friend, but today, only poetry. You were you for me. And so I introduce you to Enzo Gaia with his poem that
absolutely no. I will not read it, but someone I did not know. Cinzia Landini. A stratospheric applause.
And hello, everyone. And I have brought you 5 very short poems. The first 3 are part of the collection and my life. And the last 2 are 2 unpublished. Ithaca and the new collection, Ithaca, the last island, and why? I mean, life goes on. And it is a great gift, and let's take it with joy, because it always gives us something from It Is My Life by Cinzia Landini. And I greet the moon. Tonight you caress my heart once again. So I offer my apologies to all those whom I have not been able to properly help, support, and love. Of course, if my name had been Samantha Fosca Vittoria, then yes, it would have been different. And instead, I am just Cinzia, a small twilight creature who risks the night, even if for her there is only darkness. The second question is to answer a person I loved so much, who is always with me, and Franco. I do not know, my Franco, how many more days fate has left for us, but there is that which neither anyone shall ever take away. The beating of our hearts, the flight of our minds. And now a poem that is dear to me and lyrical. A lyric that is born from deep pain, that is born as a source from deep pain. The sky and the earth nourish you with their waters. You who cross arid lands and make them fertile, until you reach the sea and the waves will lose your song. And the last two unpublished. So the first is, we are made for joy, we are made for joy, we are made to love. My Ulysses, I met you on this stormy sea. I am Circe, I am the siren, I am the final island where you may land. Ithaca. Scorched by the sun, bathed by the tides and the wind, Ithaca. Strong, warm, welcoming, like a lover, always sought after. Finally, I see your port. Soon I will be home. Farewell.
But for me, after listening to it, it is not easy to remain serious. I always make fun of myself, and now I feel like I just want to cry.
No, please, we are made for joy.
We are made for joy.
I do not know how to thank you. You have been wonderful.
What matters is to communicate, not shut yourself off.
Yes, the point is that only those who dare can fly. We have flown. And now another great poet who gave me a lift. My taxi driver for the trip, who is named Oriente Murati. I hope he doesn't make me cry too. Left my hat on.
Good evening, everyone. To celebrate this evening with Enzo and throughout the entire journey from La Spezia to this location, we spent our time sharing many thoughts and things, which was a great pleasure for me. And since you mentioned Pisa, I would like to read to you what I wrote specifically about Pisa. Because you should know. We have shared a past that includes a similar background in our studies. In short, we ended up in the political science department in Pisa, yet we had never encountered one another there. As I did not know you at all. Pisa. Pisa the beautiful. Pisa the learned. Pisa always fighting with the Florentines and Florentineness. Pisa is its Lungarno, the Duomo and the Baptistery, a true miracle, the tower that will not fall. Pisa and its cemeteries, monuments for the living and for posterity. Pisa and its Pisans, a loyal San Raghieri who will not disappoint them. Pisa, its students who come from everywhere. Swarming. The streets and into the faculties. Pisa, its professors, strict teachers who open minds and make their desires come true. Pisa is sociology, political doctrines, Marx, Engels, liberalism, and anarchy. Pisa is the social contract in foreign, austere classrooms. Bach, Rousseau, and that one over there. The one who always knows everything, who studies like crazy. Today, I asked her if she wants to go out with me. Pisa is a beautiful sunset resting on the houses, and the Arno that does not wonder what will become of you. Pisa, my 20 years gone by too quickly, between books, loves, and the desire for freedom.
She forgot that it is from her book.
Yes, this is taken from my latest book that came out, commissioned a few days ago.
The title of the book. I wanted to leave a surprise. Tell you everything.
The title is Butterflies and Tulips. Incidentally, the illustrations are by a painter friend of mine who does wonderful watercolors.
And now another great poet, an incredible friend of mine, Giulio Borghetti.
So this Enzo, this that I'm reading isn't mine, but is by a great artist who has passed away and was an actor, mime, choreographer, and poet, a great poet, Alto Querieri. And so this that I'm reading to you is called Lilla. This is new. I don't know how to read it. Because the one who went on stage, I was the set designer, and so the pictorial part was mine, the part of being on stage. No, I only started reading one. If you are better than me, go. Otherwise, I'll die. So let's see why it's a bit long. I'll read you, Lilla. Lilla. And there was also a bit for me. When I was reading this, I felt something. He stood up and opened a white cuff, creating a beautiful setting with flashes of daylight, illumination. Then he turned and realized there was no one around. Baba, but his throat hurt as he screamed in despair with moist eyes. He noticed the storm, took a child's hat, put it on his head, happy to discover himself a newborn and rejuvenated little sack. He creates words to stay alive, but he realizes that the vanished present does not know what future to possess. It only knows how to play and navigate like a father who has never seen his son. What kind of reality is his? What a wonderful night is his. Inside absurd nightmares that wound the soul, poison the heart with chemical substances. He continues to live with a few glances that no one asks for.
Aldo Guerrieri was a great man.
It's true. And now, after, no, I'll be alright. And to make the evening more beautiful, who else but Giovanni Tabacchiera?
Good evening. So I'll start by saying that I'm a fake poet. You too. Oh. My friend Leopardi. My firecrackers? What a comparison. Yes, my friend Leopardi, who used to say I pretend in my thoughts, right? Instead, in poetry, I pretend. So, let's also pick up on the discussion that was made about time. And, about time. So these texts have two phases of time. The first concerns a real poem by, I think, a well-known poet called Bale, I think, right? And it's called The Albatross. But I wondered about this albatross. The poem was written around the mid-1800s, I believe, but in these 2000s. What could the albatross represent today? So the albatross. Let's read the real one first. Often, for their own amusement, sailors capture albatrosses, large seabirds, lazy traveling companions that follow ships, racing lightly. Over the course of the bitter depths, they've barely set it down on the tow line, when the king of the blue, clumsy and embarrassed, pitifully drags his large white wings beside him as if they were oars. How weak and sinister the winged and comical traveler is. He's ugly. He used to be so beautiful. Some put a pipe under his beak. Some limply imitate the who flew. The poet is like him, prince of the clouds, who stands with the hurricane and laughs at the archers. Exiled on earth amidst mockery, his giant wings prevent him from walking. A round of applause for Baudelaire. Yes, he will make his way. The albatross of the year 2000. Often, for amusement, soldiers capture drones large, mechanical birds for military use, silent traveling companions of armies bogged down and tired, suspended over the abysses of bitter destinies. They have barely pulled him down, and already the killer of the sky is harmless and humming painfully, quivers like a toy amputated of its large metal wings. How ridiculous and useless